how does the reported visa denial for international students at Harvard intersect with existing U.S. immigration and education law?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Diego. So the way it intersects is as follows. So Harvard is part of what's called the Student Exchange Visa Program, and they've been a part of that program for about 70 years. And as part of that program, they're allowed to issue F1 visas to students who come over here. So usually from foreign countries that are accepted into Harvard. Once their status in the SEVP program, which is a student exchange visa program, is denied or revoked, then all the students who are here on F1 visas no longer have a valid visa, and they're forced to go back to their home country if, in fact, that status is actually revoked.
And Paul, do students have a legal recourse? Do universities have a legal recourse given this abrupt visa policy shift?
Yeah, well, let's talk about the university's legal recourse first. So they filed an action and they sought an emergency restraining order today to stop or yesterday they actually filed it, to stop the State Department and the Department of Homeland Security from revoking this SEVP status that they have. And the judge granted a temporary restraining order because the judge found that the damage to Harvard, the damage to the students, the damage to the university as a whole and the system as a whole would be such that it would be enormous. So it granted a temporary halt to the Department of Homeland Security desire to revoke the program. So that's temporarily been halted now because the university brought an action. The principles of that action are First Amendment, due process, and a violation of the Administrative Procedures Act, which sets forth a policy that the State Department and the Department of Health and Human Services has to go through in order to revoke their status.
And Paul, is there a precedent of the government or any specific agency targeting a university in this way in the past?
No, of course not. Harvard has enjoyed this status for 70 years. They've never had a problem with it. And think about it. I mean, it's one of the most prestigious schools here in the United States. And foreign students, the whole purpose of the SEVP program is to get students from around the world, the best and brightest students, to come to the United States and use the facilities and the educations and the research departments of these institutions because it enhances both the university, enhances both the United States, and enhances both and sort of our relationships worldwide. So there's never been, particularly as it relates to Harvard, any problem at all with this program. As a matter of fact, they've been in the past honored as the shining star of this SEVP program.
And do you see broader implications for academic freedom and U.S. soft power if universities struggle to host international scholars?
Yeah, it's a huge problem, but think about it. So right now they have graduation coming up next week, Harvard does, and they have a whole bunch of summer students and fall students who are enrolled as F1 visa students coming into Harvard. Some of them are there already to stay for this. How are you going to entice the best and brightest students around the world to come to research and to help your university both financially and through all of the grants that it gets? How are you going to, how can students from around the world trust that if they enroll in Harvard, that they're going to be kept there because of this problem that they have? You know, they believe that it's sort of retaliatory. And if you look at the history of it, it appears that both the president and his executive branch is retaliating against Harvard for their responses to some of their antagonism. And I think that hurts everyone.
You say that hurts everyone. I'd like to get a sense of how deep a hurt this is. Do you believe it, even if this goes away after an exchange of judiciary salvos, do you think this will probably change how foreign students see the United States and especially Harvard?
Yeah, it creates a huge problem. Harvard, first of all, Harvard has 7,000 students engaged in this program. Already, the Department of Homeland Security has said that they are targeting 10 schools, and they've listed some of the highest academic performing colleges and universities in the country, USC, UCLA. They've targeted them. So if they can do it to Harvard, they can do it to all these schools. So it's really going to have a negative effect on students around the world wanting to come to the United States to study, because they cannot enroll and then feel like the rug will be pulled out from under them after they get here. So it's going to create a huge problem for students and for these universities in the future.
Paul Pelletier, thank you so much. Great having you.
Thanks for having me, Diego.